Kings of the North, Week 18 recap. We did it. We won the North. 2 years in a row, we won the North. So my thing is, as I said before, what are we going to do with it? That game Saturday was a impressive performance against a 3-win team. Let's be real. They beat us earlier. Still don't know how the fuck that happened, but anyway, we finished 12-5. Which, for starting out 0-2, that means we went 12-3 the rest of the way. So, still pretty impressive. I'm not going to sugarcoat. The last 4 games of the season, we were on a roll. We were absolutely on a roll, just rolling teams. Looks like the defense is a little bit improved and has been heading into the playoffs. It has been for weeks, but it's good to know that it's looking like it's ratcheted up a notch. Okay. Nate Wiggins' pick 6 was a beautiful thing. Okay. We saw Marlowe get one in the Steelers game. It was just an impressive win. To go through the struggles that we had this season at some points in the year where you just wanted to fucking pull your hair out because you know that this team is really underachieving, to going back to winning the North again, is impressive. Does Lamar get the MVP? I really could care less. I could care less about that third MVP. I don't give a fuck. I want to win in January. Josh Allen can have it. Okay? He won the MVP twice before. It did not work out so well for him. Okay? And I don't care about this, the past don't matter. Yes, the fuck it does. Okay? It's called a resume. It's called a track record. Yes, the fuck it does. The past always matters. I don't want to hear none of that. So we looked a little sluggish to begin the game. It should have been 20-3. We passed up 2 opportunities for some field goals. Got greedy, did not get it. We were 0 for 3 on 4th down, I think. Until I think we might have converted one, but yeah, we weren't very good on 4th down. The penalties that seem to always show up when we do something good. Here comes a penalty again. Adafe Owe hitting the 10 sack mark. Wow, who saw that coming? That came out of nowhere. 9 Pro Bowlers. I mean, hey. The best team don't always win it. And the best team was probably 2019 and last year. So maybe it takes a little bit of, a team like this to make a deep playoff run. But can we make a deep playoff run? That remains to be seen. And I'm not talking about being content with the AFC Championship game. Cool. You get back to another AFC Championship game, that's cool and all, but at some point, Lamar going into like year 7 next year, you got to be able to say, I got to a Super Bowl. With the contract and the MVPs and all that shit, to look back and say, and he never reached a Super Bowl is ridiculous. So that falls on the coaching, it falls on Harbaugh, falls on Monken. Look, man. When Monken and Harbaugh coach this team the right way, and I mean play calling, knowing when to use their timeouts, knowing, game situations, knowing who to sub and who not to sub, just doing things right, and they get in a flow, we're almost unbeatable. And that's what the frustrating thing is why I'm so critical. Because I know we can do so much more when we just apply ourselves, especially the coaching staff applies themselves to put the guys in position to win. I know we can do so much more. So, Todd, hope you learned your lesson the first time we played the Steelers. Last time you gave him a heavy dose of Derrick Henry. This time he needs to carry that shit like 30 times. Especially if it's going to be, a snow game or bad weather game or whatever the case may be, yeah, you need a heavy dose of Derrick Henry. Okay? Especially if Zay is out. Even more emphasis. Like, this is why we brought him in, right? So you need to let him shine. This is his moment. Tell him to tell the team, get on his back. He's going to take us where we need to go. And, him and Lamar and the defense is much improved. It all comes down to the coaching staff, man. Simple and plain. We have the defense. We have the offense. We have the quarterback. We have the running back. We have everything we need. But we cannot get out coached again by teams, we should be beating. If we see the Chiefs again, it's going to be at Arrowhead, and it's about to go down for real. But first of all, got to get the first one out the way, okay? And that starts on Saturday, and that starts with the Steelers, who they lost 4 in a row. They go into the playoffs playing some of their worst football. We go into the playoffs playing some of our best football. Okay? So we won 4 in a row to end the season. It's just been basically waiting to get to this point. It's almost like we yawn in the regular season. You're yawning because we already know we're going to do this again. It's a matter of how many do we win, and do we win the division, or do we get the wild card? We obviously division chance, but we'll be playing wild card weekend. The bank going to be loud. Once again, I ask, what is going to change this year from every other year? What's going to change? So I need to see that. I need to see what Harbaugh does, differently this time. And we all know what it is. It's running the football with Derrick Henry. That's why he was brought in. He was brought here to be the X factor in January. You didn't run the ball last year with the backs you had, and now, you have that guy. So you better use him. I mean, this team could be scary, but we cannot beat ourselves. We cannot keep beating ourselves. I'm just trying to prepare the fan base for the letdown because y'all be getting way too high. And then when we lose, you get way too low and you can't take it. So just understand there's a chance we could lose on Saturday. I didn't like the matchup from the beginning. I thought I would have rather played the Chargers because, yeah, it's the second time we played them, but I just don't like that third time around with the Steelers. Yes, we've done it in the past. That doesn't mean it's easy. It doesn't mean we can't do it either. It's just a matchup I didn't want. I don't care how bad they're playing. They're bound to get out of that shit. And y'all know how I feel about Mike Tomlin. I respect him. They'll be ready. They most definitely will be ready to hit us with their best shot. Okay, so we got to hit them with ours early and often. I just wanted to get out of that Browns game relatively injury-free, which is why it sucked for us that we had to play our starters, that we didn't get to play after the Steelers played, Then we would have known, oh, shit, they lost. Basically, we can play our starters. But it's okay. We got out of there relatively healthy other than Zay and Kyle getting a little banged up. I was, especially with like 5 minutes left in the game and Derrick Henry's in there, I wanted them numbers for him, but I was holding my breath every time he carried the ball. Every time Lamar got tackled, so we made it up out of there. And we got the dub. Playoffs coming. Playoffs started. Back for another run, another movie. We've seen it before. There is no next week now from this point on. We have no room for bad play calling, no room for the bad discipline and the penalties, no room for the things that continue to hurt us all season, no room for hurting ourselves. We need to be aggressive, foot on the gas, and go get it. Go after it. You know? We back in the playoffs. I'm not going to sit here and act like the season was a failure, but I'm telling you right now, if we don't get to the Super Bowl, you can consider it one. Because if we couldn't do it last year, and we can't do it this year, and we couldn't do it the prior years, when are we going to do it? When is it going to happen? When? You paid your quarterback. You brought in Derrick Henry. You have a high-powered offense. The one thing that remains is the head coach. John is there. John and the coaching staff will be the ultimate X factor as if we win or we don't win. It's going to fall on them. They are going to be the reason why. And I've never said we win because of John Harbaugh, but this time it has to be because he has to lean on the OC, and the OC, we're only going to go as far as he takes us. I have a feeling that defense will be ready with Zach Ward. I have a feeling the defense, I'm not worried about that. It's about what is the play calling going to look like, what's the personnel, who are you going to use at the right time, and so forth. I mean, you think they don't want to, they didn't want a playoff game and shit, I can't even remember. You think they don't want to come in there and beat us and start feeling good about themselves? Because right now they don't feel very good about themselves even though they're in. And then they got to play us too. So, hey, it could be just what they need, or it could be just what we need to go, go ahead on, get them out of here and go to the second round. And it's probably going to be the Bills or somebody like that, the Chiefs, who knows. I believe if we win, we would play the Chiefs. No, the Bills. We would play the Bills. So, still got a ways to go here, fellas. The journey has just begun. Fellas and ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. The journey has just begun. So now, all we can do is just be along for the ride. I can sit here and talk and tell them blue in the face about what we need to do and what the coaching staff needs to do, but none of it really matters unless we do it. So, no more talking. It's time. And it's time to ride. And it's time to ride on Saturday night at the bank. The regular season is done now. Now, what are we going to do? We got to win 4. We got to win 3 to get there, 4 to crown us. So let's go ahead on and start that ride. See y'all Saturday night at the bank.